G'day everyone, just really quickly before this video starts, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy 2023. Good to be here, made it through another year, that's a bonus. And two really quick updates just before the video. Like I said, number one, I am currently working through designs for some merchandise that might become available soon. Two of the top runners that I'm doing is a set of coasters. They'll be marine ply and then varnished, so they look really nice, laser engraved with a picture of Kiarra and Harper Shed logo bits and pieces. I'm working with branding to try and get that sorted, and the other one will be keychains. Just really simple stuff. Let me know if you guys are interested. If nobody's really interested, then I won't bother, but I just thought I might give it a bit of a go, see where it leads. I really appreciate everybody's help throughout last year, and I'm looking forward to this year being even better, hopefully. So, alright, on with the show, and let's get cracking with this week's video. Yeah, everyone, welcome back. So today we got a bit of work to do, just me today. So we're going to tackle getting the head or the toilet area stripped apart. It's sort of in preparation for getting it out of the water. It's something I want to do. The toilet itself isn't working properly anyway, so we're going to pull it out of there. The whole room needs to be gutted anyway. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get to it. Yep, that's as bad as I remember it. Before we rip into it, let's go in for a closer look and I'll show you what it is we're working with. Alright, so up the front, as you saw, this is what we're dealing with. Now, yes, it's messy and dirty and all that jazz. That's not really what's annoying me. I feel like it can be done better. Let's open this vent first. Vents up in the roof. They're not bad, but I think they could do with something a little bit nicer. Alright, my plans. I'm going to keep it where it is. I thought about maybe moving the whole head area somewhere else, but I like the rest of the layout of the boat, so I'm not going to. It's going to stay where it is. That toilet's going because, as I said, the unit doesn't work anymore. It doesn't seem to want to pull water or anything. The basin's going. It just seems to take up a lot of room, like a lot of area inside of the room, and the sink works just fine. And I mean, it's a boat. We don't need multiple sinks. Shower is going to stay. In what configuration, I don't know. I'll probably put a mixer tap as opposed to two, like a hot cold. I am going to put hot water back in this boat, so I need to allow provisions for that. Today's more about getting it stripped out and seeing what we're working with. As far as rot in the boat, or rot in the head area, timber work that needs doing, this trim panel here is fine and dandy. It's not stuffed. That section's good, that's good, that's good. On the outside, this is not where any of the window surround issues are. The front is, but I don't know, it's not terrible. Sorry, you might be a bit close there. There's a bit sort of there, feels a bit ordinary. Let's get something with a bit more of a point on it. So, it's still Yeah, it's softish, but well, that's probably a bit harsh. Let's not use that one. Let's use this one. So, but down here, this section's like, you know, not ideal. Just a trim panel though, so we can take that off and fix that. This down here, I don't know what it is exactly. We'll figure it out again. It just looks like a trim panel. It doesn't actually look like a piece of the forward deck. So, I mean, there's a whatever that is. Yeah, so this can come off because it's gone. Again with that, this is all good all the way through. That's fine. I'll have to fill those divots now. This corner's still good. All of this timber works good. Up here's a bit. Actually, that's not too bad. I thought that was a bit worse than that. Well, that top corner. Okay, that top corner's not great. But other than that, it's all pretty good. Crack there, obviously. What is it? Oh, we'll dig into that a bit more. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's been glassed. Well, it has. Floor drain. So there's a couple other aspects about this that we're going to change, and I'll go through them in a minute. But I'm going to finish opening the rest of the boat up to let it air out, and then we'll attack it. All right. So this is the reason why we haven't used the toilet, because it doesn't exactly conform to the regulations anymore. Alright, you can stay there for now. So, I mean, it goes straight out the side. I'm sure back in the day that was fine. These days you can't do that. So I will definitely be installing a proper holding tank. I think a lot of the reason why it doesn't work is because these hoses are basically fully, you know, well that would be the inlet to the toilet, and it's just kinked off. The outlet hose doesn't look too bad, but I haven't actually tried to, oh, that could pull us up. I haven't tried to move these valves at all. So, let's see. Oh, okay, all right. Are we fully closed? Work a little bit. That's on the stop. Okay, good. Valve closed. One valve closed. Oh, that one doesn't look as promising. What way's the stop? That's got a steel handle on it. It's a stainless valve, but it's got a steel handle. I don't want to try and force this the wrong way. Where's the stop? Oh, okay. Smooth as butter. Never mind. Alright, so both seacocks are closed. Now we can start the messy bit. I think I'm going to get this carpet up and out of the way first though. It's not in great shape, but I don't want to make it any worse. Alright, so I just pulled the soles up there for what they're worth. I mean, technically sole boards I suppose, but I still keep getting a few comments saying, you know, she's pretty ratty boat. Don't disagree. Outside's ratty, lots of rot. That's what I find every time I pull the boards up. There is no water that gets in from the bottom. Comes up, yeah, it does leak when it rains, so fresh water, not good, definitely. But that's what the build essentially always looks like, that if we haven't had rain for a week or so. So anyway, I just thought I'd show that. I just wanted to see where some of these lines are going. This line with the brass strain on the end, that's an old engine driven bilge pump system. I think I'm just going to try and drag all that out of there because it's old crappy line and it doesn't go to anything anyway. So, and we'll be putting some more bilge pumps in here just to be sure. And I wanted to assess this area for my holding tank. I think I'm going to put the holding tank on this side. I mean, so the head comes out over there and comes down. Now, the reason I don't want to put it over there is because the boat, when the freshwater tank's full, so the freshwater tank is 140 litres. When it's full, it's on the starboard side of the boat. The boat actually has a bit of a list down to the starboard side. I mean, it's not really set out very well. A lot of the heavier parts of the boat, a lot of the seating parts of the boat are actually on the starboard side. The helm's on the starboard side, you know, saloon, galley's not, but the head is. The boat just seems to have a natural tendency to list to the starboard a little bit. So what I'm going to try and do to offset that is any sort of gear I put in, I'm going to put on the port side. So like I said, the tank I make for the holding tank, will come on the port side, down in this little area under my feet. I should be able to measure that up and make a really fairly well-fitting tank in there. We'll see how we go. Alright, let's actually do some work. Alright, there we go. We are minus one toilet. I'll dismantle whatever box they've got sitting here. I'm going to pull that line back. I was pretty happy that nothing come out of that pipe. Obviously that was the outlet. So I'll pull that back through, seacock flows obviously. And yeah, we'll start cleaning up in here and getting ready to take some of the rest of the stuff out. That's my probably biggest concern at the moment. It is definitely above the water line, but I think I'm going to have to go and buy a cap or something to put on it, because I certainly don't want to leave that open with the boat in the water. Yeah, it's quite a big room really, I suppose. Anyway, alright, let's keep going. We'll get that pipe back through, and it comes out there. I've got the feed line out obviously. We'll clean them up, make sure the seacocks don't leak, and then we can just take them off the boat. Alright, we have an issue. Not massive, I can deal with it, but that ball valve's leaking, as you can see. So I got the wet dry vac and I sucked all the water out of that line. It's leaky. So I don't really want to open that and see if I can flush it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of the stuff that come off it, and there's one section there that's got a bit of a 90, so I'll slide it on, hose clamp it and bring it up above the water line. I'll have to come back out and I'll put a plug in there, or yeah, put a plug in there and actually fix it properly. So anyway, yeah, I was worried about that, but it's not the end of the world. I can do something about it. There we go, fixed. I'll just tie that up back up there before I leave. That's well above the water line of the boat, so that'll be fine. I'll come back with some yeah, with a plug like I said. Looks like 2 inch down to 1.5 inch BSP, so I'll come back with an 1.5 inch BSP plug, probably 1 3/4 inch too, just to be sure, or even a 2 inch. I could wind that 2 inch reducer out and just put a 2 inch plug in there. Alright, anyway, back on with the destruction at hand. Looks like some pretty solid beams going through there. I don't know how much more I'm actually going to be able to take out, but we'll give it a try. It might be time to turn our attention to the sink again. Alright, I think we might have come to a bit of an impasse here. I'm going to go... So where I am, I'm not far from a Bunnings, which is, if you don't know, you're not in Australia, Bunnings is just a pretty big hardware chain that we've got here. They've got heaps of stuff. I'm going to go to Bunnings. It's only 5 minutes up the road, and I'm going to get a fitting for this seacock. I don't feel right about leaving it like that, so I'll pull it apart, put an actual bung in there, and won't have to worry about it. Let me show you where I got up to in the head. So I have succeeded to make a mess. Kind of what I didn't want to do. I wanted to get it further than this. That way it was, yes, pulled apart, but still tidy. But I've reached the end of what my nerves can take. Let me sort of show you what's going on. So the main thing is this basin, whoever put that in did not want it to come out. It's actually recessed, so this is 2 layers of ply. The bottom of the basin is sitting on the bottom layer. This is a surround layer. It is put in there with some form of epoxy cement or some sort of sealant or whatever, but it's recessed down into here. Now this was put on first, and I managed to belt that away, and it's been put down with some pretty serious length screws down. Now that's obviously a big bit of timber. There's another one in there, and it goes back to another rear one up there. I'm not sure how well it'll show up, but there's a ledge at the back that's been put in, and this has been screwed to that ledge, and then these have all been put in. These have been put in with some dirty big nails, like nail gun size dirty big nails. I'm worried that if I start ripping into this, because I think the only way to get this out is with brute force. I sort of tried to be nice, and I tried to, chip away and see what was in there, and like I removed the little trim from up the back and just trying to see how it was all put together. I think realistically the only way for this basin to come out is, properly. I don't really want to do that with the boat in the water. I'm more worried about the big nails, to be honest, because they go through the stringers, and I just don't want to do it. Like I said, I'm about the end of what my nerves can take. The other one that is pulling me up is I'm just not 100% sure how far above the waterline that is. I know it is, but I just don't know how far. So either way, the basin's going to stay for now. And yeah, it just is. What I did as well is I pulled off some trim. Now it's out. I'll grab it. Why not? If we're going to show you, let's show you everything. So this was the trim panel. You will have to excuse the camera work. It's brand new, obviously. It was in there, and I just pulled him off. Didn't take much. And then there was a top surround that went over it as well, all rotted in that corner. So somewhere there's a leak outside. Hard to tell. But this corner's all rotted. Where'd my screwdriver go? I don't know where my screwdriver went. I'm not prepared for this. There we go. Alright. So, good to hear. Now this beam, let's see if I can come back so you can get a good picture. This beam, like I was saying, it's good, but it gets soft up there. So, unhappy. Deck timber, same deal. Good. And then, yeah, not good. This beam is semi-structural. I think, like I said, if the memory card caught it and if I can edit it properly, it runs from here, sits sort of on top of this bulkhead, not right there, but it does sit on top of this bulkhead timber and runs all the way out and sits on the support for the side out there. I think it's not too big of a drama to be able to scarf in it a bit. We'll see. I'll see when I pull it more apart. Not super worried about this deck timber. I'm more worried about what it looks like outside. There has been a repair outside, and it hasn't been done very well. Shocker, I know. I'll show you that because we can see that from inside the little bow area up there. So let's have a quick look at that. So keep that piece in mind. Oh, boat traffic out here today is just making waves. Righto. So, right up in this corner. We'll apologise if the light's not great. I hope it is. Now, there's been a repair there. That's just a piece that they've just cut out and then put in and then glassed over the top of. I'm going to find a lot of these. I think I know for a fact there's one over the other side too. But down in there, there's a bit of timber up there, and it's a bit spoogy but not too bad. If I can get myself all the way over. Over there's a similar sort of thing. That's the beam that this beam runs onto. Sorry, I know I'm sort of going this and that, but that's the one that this one comes across and sits onto. Oh, actually, sorry, I apologise. No, it doesn't. There's a gap there. So yes, I can definitely replace just this beam because it only goes to there. So I can pull it out there and it doesn't sit really on the bulkhead. Should have looked at it better before I come and tried to explain stuff. That beam can come out. Like I said, deck timber, but the deck is sort of here. So this is okay, it's not too bad. That timber in there is solid. All these here, they look a bit flaky. They're fine, there's nothing untoward. Oh, that bit. Yeah, it's alright, it's not too bad. That's all pretty good wood. So, and obviously the deck outside is out there. So it looks bad, but it's not terrible. Actually, you can see these screws are where the windscreen, or the front window is screwed to all the way out there. That's actually pretty easy to replace now I look better at it. Oh, anyway, so, excuse the mess in the boat. Just is what it is when you're working. So like I said, that's where we are. I just don't want to pull any more of that apart and run the risk of a nail actually being in through, and it might have been ground off and have some plug over it. It might be nothing, it might be glassed over. I just don't know, and that's sort of the problem. I mean, it's well above the waterline, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like putting holes in my boat while it's still in the water. So I think that might do us for the day. The toilet's out of there, which is good, and I can see how they've constructed the box on the floor. It requires probably a, most people refer to it as a multi-tool. Some people refer to it as a tenon saw, a fret saw. I'm going to buy one of them, basically. A few people suggested it, and it's going to happen. So I have to buy one of them. It just allows me to plunge cut gently and accurately so I can pull it out. So anyway, I'm going to clean up here a little bit. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and like and share. Help grow the channel and helps me bring more content. We are less than a month away from the old girl coming out of the water. So it's, you know, it's getting there. I've got a pretty big shopping list. I've got most of it. I have spent a fair bit of money, but that's alright. It's what it's all about. So yeah, clean up here. I'm going home. And, oh, actually, no, I'm going to fix that seacock first. Otherwise, I won't sleep. Anyway, that's enough talking. Catch you later. Stay safe. And, yeah, see you next time.